What is up, guys? Boris here. I'm coming to you guys with my Zero Stamina Enel Training Forest guide, walkthrough, whatever you want to call it. It's finally here. And before I start, I want to mention that I do have level 1 environment sockets. That's right, environment sockets. The ones that you thought you might never need to use. They're actually pretty useful in this. Now, if you have level 2, which is 20, you negate all of the environment damage. But again, that's pretty tough. So I have 5 environment sockets on my Strongworld Ace, and then I used a friend Captain Strongworld Ace with 5 environment sockets as well, giving me level 1. And what this does is going to negate half of the lightning damage, which is going to add up to a lot over the course of the dungeon. So keep that in mind when you are watching this video. Now, this room right here, I went ahead and used Heracles to go ahead and take that out. My goal in these next 2 to 3 rooms is to try to get to the first NL with over 30k health. So I'm going to try to take as few hits as possible. And this first guy here, you have to hit him with 5 perfects before you can do any damage to him. These are sort of some of the more recent buffs introduced into the game. And they are kind of annoying sometimes. So, just go ahead and try to take him out in 2 cycles if you can. That would be ideal. And as you'll notice, I am using the same team I used for the Aokiji walkthrough, which is my Strongworld Ace team with a Marco and the Whitebeard ship for the massive amounts of health. Again, the Whitebeard ship gives a 1.4 health over the 1.3 health of the Ace boat. So I recommend that early on go ahead and stall for Marco's special. Use Marco's special to heal back up, and then you should be good. Now, I was trying my hardest to avoid getting him below 20%, but I couldn't do it. So that's the tricky part, man. With these perfect shields and these good shields and great shields, it does become kind of tricky. But you see here, I managed to take him out. Note that if you hit 5, you need to hit 5 perfects, but the 5th perfect will actually deal a bit of damage. So just keep that in mind, as you saw there. Now, next up is Gadatsu, and so you go from having to hit perfects to hitting goods, and this can really mess you up. Thankfully here, I got really good RNG with the orb, and then I'm gonna try to go again. I got another good RNG with the orb. These early rooms here are gonna be a lot about. I messed up that up, but these early rooms here are gonna be a lot of trial and error. If you do mess up here, it's not bad. It's kind of the beginning of the dungeon, so you can always go ahead and redo another run. And there you go, Gadatsu's out. So we have about 48k at the moment. And again, our goal is to try to get to an Elo with around 30k. So this guy is going to be the guy who hits the hardest. This guy, yeah, you can delay him. He's going to attack every turn, or every 3 turns. But I think under 50%, he might berserk. So you got to be careful, because then he'll start attacking every turn, and it's going to be really annoying. So really, you try to get him as close to probably around 50, and then start just attacking him. If you can, with like a blue orb on Usopp. And there you go, there's the blue orb. So thankfully, that's going to help me to get through the massive amounts of HP. Well, not massive amounts, but the good amount of HP that he has. Again, we're trying to not have to use Marco until after we get through a couple hits of NL. So yeah, again, once you get him below 50, you see here, I'm going to get him below 50. And he's going to go to a 1-turn attack interval, and he's going to get an attack boost as well. So there you go. And there's no problem with getting him below 20, though. I don't think he does anything below 20, but he might. I'm not entirely sure. So again, lightning hits, but thankfully I'm saving a lot of damage with that with those sockets. So I got him with him around 35k, exactly where I want to be. And so he'll first off paralyze your right 3 units for 3 turns. So we're just going to stall this out. Deal as much damage as you can over the course of these 3 turns. And I guess thing to mention here is that try not to get him below 30%, because he'll start doing 10,000 damage. And then below 20% he'll heal himself. So you got to be really careful. You have to really burst him down from 20%. Like I said, he'll heal himself back to half, I think. So but you also don't want to waste all your specials here. So it's a lot of using these couple turns and using that health that you have to really deal as much as you can. Try to get him as close as you can to that 20%. And be careful, because I remember at 30% he will do the 10k. So he attacks me here, and at this point I can't tank a 10k hit. So I can either go for it or just try to go. And so here I'm just going to go try to get him as close as I can to 20. Don't get him at 20. Alright, there we go. So he's right above 20, but right below 30. So he's going to deal 10k. Boom. And then I have to pretty much at this point go all out. And when I say all out, again, I don't want to waste all my specials, but I do want to go ahead and pop a Heracles. And if I am going to pop a Heracles, I want to make sure to use Stronghold Ace, so those will carry over into the next room. Now notice that I'm at 25, 10, and I'm not sure how much the lightning does, and I didn't know if lightning hits this turn, so you can always go ahead and use this Meat Orb from Heracles to heal back up a little bit. I think I went ahead and took it. Yeah, I went ahead and took it just in case lightning struck this turn. I always forget the when lightning's about to strike or not. So yeah, there it goes. Barely saved us. We're barely alive, but that is our goal. Our goal is to get through NL without using Marco, because now we can go ahead and use our second Stronghold Ace. Go ahead and use Marco. Go ahead and use Zephyr, and go ahead and use Usopp, and we're gonna have massive amounts of damage. So, I mean, this is where Legend Marco shines. If you have normal Marco, it still works, but you don't get the Orb boost, which is going to add a massive amount of damage. So, you know, and I guess another thing to note is that if you didn't know, I do have 100 recovery cutting candy on my Marco, so the more recovery candy, the more you heal. And so it ends up becoming kind of irrelevant to some points. But yeah, here, just go ahead and attack with the Orb boost and the Zephyr boost. You should be able to do massive damage. And now we play the waiting game. So we're going to end up stalling on the red guy just to try to get as close as we can to getting Marcos and Aces and everyone's specials back up. So I'm going to speed it up a bit, and once we're done with this guy, I'll be back. Okay, there we go. So we avoided the 20% attack, and now we're on to Gonfall. This part is actually pretty tough because of the fact that he just has a lot of HP. He has a defense, and he'll swap your orbs constantly. So just whittle him down. The name of the game here is whittle him down. Hopefully you stalled enough in the last room, or if you stall enough in this room, you'll have Marco special up for the next one. So just try to deal as much damage as you can. And a couple things to note, he will deal 100,000 damage below 20%, so don't get him below 20 or you will regret it. Also, pretty much every 2 turns he'll shuffle your orbs, so that becomes pretty annoying, but it does give you a high chance of Meat Orbs, so you can use those to heal. Try to heal up as much as you can, it really helps. And then the Bomb Orbs are just really annoying, try to sort of avoid. Like you see here, I'm just missing on purpose so I don't take additional damage. So he has 2 turns left. At this point I'm like, okay, I need to burst him down either this cycle or next cycle. So I can go ahead and shuffle my orbs, go ahead and heal back, and I'm probably gonna try to take him out next cycle here. You want to make sure you have at least, yeah, so you go, I have a couple matching orbs. Okay, I can do it. If you don't have matching orbs and you try to go for it, you're probably not gonna make it. So it's, you know, at that point it's where you have to be careful. So hopefully you have all your specials up now, and this room will hopefully be easy. Now you have Usopp, Nami, Rouge, and we have Wiper. And both Nami and Usopp will go down pretty easily to a Zephyr with a purple orb, and then a Rouge will also go down pretty easily to like the Usopp. So I think our goal here is going to be to stall a little bit on Wiper. Nothing too serious at this point. If you made it here, you're almost at the end. It's pretty much this room and then NL. So just make sure you don't mess up this attack here, and you should be almost at the finish line. So see here, I'm going to take out Usopp first. He does have a counter, but again, we have like plenty of time to take care of him. Now, that actually didn't kill him, but I wanted to make sure to get in a hit in with Usopp on a Rouge. But again, we have 3 turns to take out Usopp. So again, this time I'm going to go and try to do as much damage as I can to Nami. I can finish off Usopp next turn pretty easily. There you go, I did a little bit to Wiper and then make sure to hit a Rouge. Now, obviously there I could have been a bit better with my manual targeting, but this does risk it a little bit. Now I have 4 turns to take out a Rouge. You see here, I'm not using Marco though. I am not using Marco yet. I'm trying to save him for the last possible moment. You're going to need as much HP as you can on Enel, since it's just like, you know, like the raid boss. He attacks every turn, and he does a debuff protector for the first 3, and he was clear after the 4th turn. So you pretty much have to tank 4 hits plus the lightning on Enel. And that's a lot of damage, so I'm trying to deal as much as I can without using Marco until I really have to. I'm saving Marco for the last possible turn that I can use him. And so here you go. You see, I'm just trying to take out Rouge. I have 2 turns left at this point. I'm like, oh my god, I don't know if I'll be able to do anything. I can always tank a hit with Marco as well. I can try to use Marco now and then take a hit from a Rouge, and I should be fine, to be honest, I think. So here we go. We're going to use Marco. With the ore boost, you can try to take out a Rouge. The problem is if you get him below 20, even if he's not gonna attack, if you get him below 20, he will pretty much it's game over, because he's gonna make all attacks negated for like 3 turns or something. So it's the same as the Colosseum Rouge, where he'll negate all damage for 3 turns. So you can't do anything to him, and then he'll just hit you with his special. So again, don't get him below 20, even if he's not going to attack that turn. Be very careful about that. Okay, so you saw there, we're going ahead and install a little bit more on Wiper. Make sure we have that Usopp. The Usopp is going to be really important. We need to have it after the 4th turn of Enel. And then I guess one last thing to note is that Wiper will deal some damage when he dies. You see here, he deals damage, and then does he revive? Yeah, he revives as well for a little bit. So deals damage, and we're sitting at around 40k, which is pretty comfortable. Enel himself does 6,000 every turn, so you're looking at about somewhere 20 to 30, 25 to 20, 30k damage, depending on how many meat orbs you got, and then also depending on the lightning. You're looking at a lot of damage. So, but you should be in a good spot if you can tank it. So here we have around, like I said, 40k or 36k, and then we should be good. Maybe just get 1 or 2 meat orbs, and we'll be perfect. So now it's just a matter of time. Again, you want to, just like the raid boss Enel, you want to stall, or not stall. You want to stall out the anti-stall. So you want to take 3 hits, but then don't get tricked on the 4th turn. Remember, after the 4th turn, he will clear all the debuffs. So if you use Usopp right after his turn delay goes away, you will lose the Usopp stall, and you will lose all your buffs. So you definitely don't want to do that. So just you tank 4 hits. You see here they each do around 63. And at this point, if you made it this far and you have enough HP, you pretty much got it in the bag. Especially if you especially if you have the HP to tank it. So, especially if you have the level 1 environment, because that makes you only take half of the lightning. If you take full lightning damage at this point, it's really, really risky. It does so much damage. So here we go. We take the hit. He attacks us. Now he's going to clear all the debuffs, and then at this point is when we go ahead and use all our specials that we have remaining. Usopp and everyone, and Stronghold Ace actually does a nice job of doing some damage if you have a lot of HP. Though at this point we're only down to 11k, so we're probably gonna end up not doing that much. But as you can see here, this should be a pretty easy 2-turn kill. If somehow you did some stuff with like Marco in the previous room and you have him up now, that's even more damage. So you could probably even one-shot him from this point. But yeah, just a couple things, just like the raid boss, don't get him below 50. Try to get him as close to 50 as possible, because below 50, I believe he puts up a shield or something. Yeah, he puts up a shield, I think, or something. So, I don't remember what he does actually below 50. I don't know if he does anything. But here we go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is part where everyone gets nervous, right? But we hit all perfects, and just see, like, look how much damage he has. At this point is guaranteed. Go ahead and use the last Ace special to just deal a little bit amount of damage in case all of a sudden, like, your your phone breaks or something and you need that last bit of damage. And that is the Enel Zero Stamina Training Forest. Again, this is I think it's classified in the same difficulty as Ace, Stronghold Ace. So it's difficult, but it's not as difficult as some of the harder ones. Although I still think this is a really difficult one. And I guess if you guys don't know, once you clear this island, you do get the Arc Maxim, is the ship from the Enel. That Enel uses in the show or whatever, and what it does is it boosts the attack of attack of blues and yellows by 1.5, and then their HP by 1.2. It also has a special itself that deals I think 56,560 damage, somewhere around there. So and it does fixed damage, so it does go through shields. And if you guys want to see me doing the upgrades, I posted it earlier this week on YouTube. I'll have a link right there you can click on. So hopefully this guide helped you guys, and more guides on the way. And with that said, until next time, thanks for watching.